Welcome to Advanced Perspective. This is your boy Boogie 45. I got my boy Bogey in here. What's going down?
Shit, man, you already know. Back at it for the 2-6, man. Let's go. Happy New
Yes,
Year to you.
sir. Yes, sir. All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. Lil Durk murder for hire case. Just some updates on the case. So I'm about to go over them updates. All right,
Man, this
so his murder for hire case trial, well, his trial delayed once again. All right, so Lil Durk's federal murder for hire trial will now kick off in the spring after a California judge granted a continuance on Monday, according to court documents obtained by Complex. The trial was originally scheduled to begin on January 20th, but now it will start on May 4th. Before then, a pretrial conference will commence on April 13th. Hold up. Let's see. Okay. The court cited an enormous amount of evidence that will have to be reviewed as a reason for the delay. There are reportedly hundreds of gigabytes of digital material to sift through before the trial can begin. The case is so unusual and so complex due to the nature of the prosecution and the number of defendants that it's unreasonable to expect preparation for pretrial proceedings or for the trial itself within the time limits established by the Speedy Trial Act. That's why Dirk tried to have a speedy trial.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because if they don't have their stuff together, case get thrown out.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So Dirk and his team argued against the delay despite every other defendant wanting more time to prepare. I don't know what's up with that.
Because they trying to prepare to rata.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. So he said he'd been behind bars since October 2024 when authorities arrested him in Florida on charges of conspiracy, murder for hire, and firearm use in a violent crime. All right, so it says authorities have accused Lil Durk of allegedly orchestrating the attempted murder of rival rapper Quando Rondo in 2022. Rondo's cousin, Sevilla Lil Pab Robinson, died during the attack. Lil Durk has denied having any involvement in the incident. Last week, All Hip Hop reported that prosecutors confirmed they want to call multiple cooperating witnesses to the stand. The government's proposed evidence also provides critical corroboration of his multiple cooperating witnesses who are anticipated to testify that Lil Durk ordered the violence in Los Angeles, used intermediaries to recruit others to carry out the scheme, and promised a reward for carrying out the murder. Prosecutors selling the filing obtained by the outlet. Okay, so this is another one that I'm gonna go into as far as the cooperating witnesses.
Yeah.
So they said there have been a lot of controversies in the Lil Durk trial so far, whether it's his failed motion to disqualify prosecutors or the allegations that his alleged hitman confessed to a murder for hire plot. Nevertheless, according to an exclusive All Hip Hop report from Grouchy Gray Watkins, prosecutors are moving forward with their plans. In a new filing this week, they reportedly revealed that they will call upon multiple cooperating witnesses to take the stand. The government's proposed evidence also provides critical corroboration of his multiple cooperating witnesses who are anticipated to testify that Durk ordered the violence. Okay, I just read that. However, defense attorneys fought to block certain testimony and evidence from the federal Los Angeles trial due to unfair exchanges of information in the trial process. They also claimed that this evidence and testimony unfairly paints the Chicago rap and its OTF collective as a criminal organization. Still, the government stood by the witness plans. These testimonies will supposedly detail the planning, execution, funding, and rewards of an alleged murder for hire plot in Los Angeles. They opposed the defense arguments against the testimony and evidence, citing it as key to understanding the relationships between Durk, his co-defendants, and his alleged targets. Defense lawyers also hinted that they will question the motives and truthfulness of the witness federal prosecutors' plan called to testify. plan to call to testify. Prosecutors reportedly acknowledged this, but do not find that this should keep up the testimonies. That this prosecutors reportedly acknowledged this, but do not find that this should keep the testimonies from the trial's jury. All right, so it's a lot to unpack right there, man.
Yeah, it's underway though. That's basically what
Now,
it's saying.
I'm gonna say this though: you got cooperating witnesses. That means that was somebody that was with you on the crime. You know what I'm saying? And then the thing is, people was talking about OTF Jam. Now, ever since this situation happened, he's been MIA. So we don't know. And then
what they say, right?
What?
They say that he was like, when he got out, you know what I mean, that he might have been he might have already been compromised since he got out this entire time.
I mean, that don't sound far-fetched to me.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't it sound far-fetched, right? Because I mean, shit, he just got out of doing a significant amount of time. Maybe he was some of his maybe there were some things granted to him. Maybe maybe less time, maybe something. But like, especially if he said that I'm gonna be an informant, but if he was an informant and he went on a whole ass mission with them, that's crazy work. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the thing is that's not unheard of. That already happened.
For sure. I'm just saying, like, it's all done for Durk is what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
I mean,
man.
yeah.
Like,
see, the thing is, they have to prove that case because it's kind of hard to like. You have to prove that Durk actually funded the situation because everybody in the situation had love for Vaughn. You know what I'm saying? So they wouldn't have took Durk to tell them to go ride for Vaughn. They already got that in their mind already that they're going to do that.
That's a great defense too. If not,
presents itself.
If not, that's a great defense right there.
Now,
and it's going to be, of course, if you're going to pay someone allegedly, right? It's probably cold hard cash. There ain't going to be no money transfers or wires or anything things of that nature. So, like, what the way they're trying to time is where they use the card to fly these guys around and purchase shiesties and other things of that nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now another thing,
because it was like a company card.
Yeah. See, now another thing, the thing that they have to prove is that he funded the entire situation. Because if they could prove that he funded that, then you did that. That they're going to slam dunk. You know what I mean? So
is it enough if it's the company card that they used to buy certain things alleged that were utilized in the alleged?
It's going to be that. It's going to be that, but it's as well as
is that enough?
No, they have. I think they have more than that. You got to understand when the feds come.
The feds don't come in unless they got you.
But I'm gonna tell you this though. Ever since that FBG duck situation, the feds started picking up those cases because they seen that Chicago police wasn't doing much about it, so they started picking up those cases. So now that's what they've been doing in Chicago. They've been picking up these cases ever since the duck, because with the duck situation, it happened downtown
the Gold Coast shopping area, which is that's
the affluent area.
Yes,
so
that's the
at the end of the day, they're not playing with that. So now they're like, okay, if you guys, the way the feds looking at it, okay, if you police in Chicago can't keep these motherfuckers from going downtown and doing, then they don't want you can't contain it no more. That's what they're looking at.
Yeah, they were okay when it was like contained to South Chicago and things that
exactly
the city, not the downtown areas where motherfuckers where there's a lot of tourists, and especially that area, the Gold Coast. They got Louis and Gucci and Saint Laurent and all that shit over there. You know what I mean? Restaurants, high-end restaurants, and
you scaring the money away. That's the main thing. You scaring the money away. You know what I mean? So
precious money.
now they looking like, okay, we got to pick up these cases. So I think the Fed's been watching Dirk for a minute. I don't think that it's just this case, and I think they was building a case on him because they got it. They claim they got a lot of evidence as far as wiretaps, phone calls, or whatever the case would be, and then they got witnesses. So and the thing is, the fact that the other defendants want the case to go longer, I mean, it could be their lawyer. Their lawyer might feel like I ain't ready for no speedy trial.
Drag this out.
But I see what Dirk is trying to do. He's like, yo, let them go. I want them to go in here half-assed, so I can get my joint thrown out.
And his lawyer is I think is it the same dude that got Diddy? Got Diddy off of all them crazy charges? I want to say they got the same lawyer.
I would believe so, but the thing is,
never mind. I think it's the same lawyer as Young Boy. Is it Young Boy?
I don't know. I don't know who's his attorney right off the rip, because you need a team of lawyers when you're dealing with a case like that anyway.
That's a fact.
But the thing is with Dirk, it's like, man, it ain't looking good for him right now because it's like you don't know who's telling. You don't know who's gonna flip on you.
And you did say with OTF Jam just missing in action right now, and it's kind of safe to assume he might be one of the ones? ?
Yeah, but even still, they might have more. It might be somebody. Yeah, it might be somebody in his crew.
Especially
it might be somebody like outside of home. Oh boy, it might be somebody else in the crew that's considering that.
And you know what's a bitch? It could very well be somebody inside his crew that got popped for some other shit, and then just goes, well, you know what? I got this information for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna say it like I said before. Like Dirk worked hard to be successful, but he worked equally as hard to get in this situation. You know what I mean? He worked hard to get in this situation.
He puts in that same effort.
Because, like, seriously, like, what do you think? You got a public beef with another rapper, right?
Yeah.
You think you're going to put a hit on him, miss the target, and then even if you hit the target, you think you're gonna put a hit on somebody, they're gonna get killed, and then you just gonna continue rapping like nothing happened?
I will say,
like, seriously, like, do you like
watch this? Check me out on this one. Look, just for context, when R. Kelly was going through hella shit, and not the recent one, I'm talking about back then, like 20 years ago, right? He had a resurgence in his career even after all those allegations, and he was acquitted and this and that, but still guilty in the court of public opinion, right? But he had this resurgence. But before he had this resurgence, he started putting out step, side to side, bringing it back, right? Look at Lil Durk. Lil Durk came out with that Grammy Award-winning joint with J. Cole.
But it's two different things, though. It's two different things. I mean, R. Kelly.
But hear me out, though. I'm talking about when you wanted to make sure you wanted to be viewed in a certain light, the music changed as far as what they wanted to push in that instance, in that very moment. So for Dirk, remember he did that joint with J. Cole with all the kids on the hook, and the all my life.
That's not gonna stop you from being investigated.
But see,
that trick is old. That doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm just saying though.
They're trying to change your image and all of that.
It was the attempt.
It's so predictable, though. Like, you know what I mean?
And then what did he do right after he won the Grammy? He gets the key to the city, and he's been regarded in a better light. But then he's all these other tracks he's still putting out where he's detailing the alleged incident in question.
I know Dirk got OGs in his corner, and I'm like, did you even listen to them dudes? Because I know they're not gonna tell you to pull no shit off like this. You know what I mean? Like I know they wouldn't advise you to pull no shit off like this because it's sloppy. The only way that would have even made sense, I could have understand. Okay, you and Young Boy in the same city, and y'all crews clash, and y'all bang it out right there. That's mutual combat. Will people go to jail? Yes. Will they spend the rest of their life in jail? Maybe not so, because it happened on the spot. It's not premeditated. You didn't have issues. Words had, tempers fled. Shit went left. But with a situation like this dude is in a whole nother state across the country, and dudes pop up there and kill him. Like, come on, man. That it's crazy, man.
Man, free my homie Lil Boo Boo. He's been locked since we was 19. He got into a situation at his own crib during a family party, and some fools rolled up and he told him to leave. Then he got in a physical altercation. They came back deep. He went inside the house. After he was outside, he told him to leave again. Now they're back all Johnny Dangerous with hella heads. He goes inside, grabs the heat thing, smokes the dude in front of the house, in front of hella people. He goes on the lam. He tries to do the dash. They catch him like a couple days later. And like they try to hit him with premeditated, even though he's protecting this house and all these other situations that people were there to tell their side of the story. Like, oh, they came, they tried to jump him after the fact, and there was a physical altercation, blah, blah, blah. They try to get him for premeditated just for making the decision to go inside the house and grab the heat thing. So it's crazy, but see, obviously that one didn't stick. But these premeditated, when people strangle someone or people kill someone, unalive someone, from asphyxiation, that is they can hit you for premeditated because it takes like 7 minutes to murk someone out from asphyxiation. You know what I mean? Like, so you have 7 minutes to decide whether or not to let go of this and let the person live. You know what I mean? So there's different ways they can try to press the issue, but 100%, if you have this very public beef like they do, and it's all on wax, and there's already been scores on both sides. If something happens on the spot, yeah, you could probably be like, well, I had to, you could probably use that as your defense. Like there's an actual public beef, and like I had to be on 10. If I was on 8, the motherfucker, you know what I mean? He might get scraped. You feel me? Like, because this is what lawyers are going to be looking for. Because it's like, what is Dirk's strongest defense here? Right? Like, is it like, okay, you can't prove any money exchange outside of maybe this credit card of the company that I own, but I didn't make those.
He has to prove that he didn't have knowledge of that at all.
There it is. And like, I think it's damning that they use that card to get all these fools on a PJ, get them to Cali, then allegedly.
I don't know who came up with that dumbass idea.
Man. Put them on a car. Put them in a car and drive them.
But I'm gonna break something down real quick. Like,
okay, go ahead.
You see, the thing about it is, them dudes is from Chicago, right? Anytime you see the murder rate high in a city like that, at the center of it is corruption, right?
It's a fact.
So obviously, police ain't doing their job. So these dudes is doing killings and all that, and they don't have to move cautiously. They could just jump out, do some shit, and just disappear into the night.
So what you're getting at is like they might not be vetted, like like that outfit ain't vetted like it should be when you need an outfit, like when you need to move militant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's like
that type of outfit.
Because you got to understand, like they come from gangs, so these gangs is not really taking no crazy precautions. I mean, yeah, the precautions is not to get shot while you trying to do some shit. You know what I'm saying? But
the precaution is shoot first.
It's a big difference between a gang hit and a calculated hit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like when it's calculated, you gotta go over every step to make sure that you don't slip.
Remember Brett Luigi?
Who?
Luigi.
You talking about the guy, the dude that did the joint in the city?
The Luigi. I can't remember.
Mangone.
He did the hit allegedly.
Yeah, man, the Luigi Mangone.
There you go. The kid I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, he shot the United
Health. Remember his whole thing was he had mapped out. He knew where the dude was going to be, what cars, this and that. He jumped down on the dude, walked him down.
He knew how to execute it, but he
had a whole escape route. He had an entire escape route where he jumped. You know, this thing was for the most part.
If he had an entire escape route, how the hell did they find him at McDonald's?
Here's the thing.
What are you doing in the McDonald's?
Okay, look at this. So he was staying at like a hostel, like a house that they rent, you know, kind of Airbnb shit out, right? But it's a hostel, so it's not quite Airbnb. It's like, you know, he's probably just paying cash. Like, anyways, he this is where he was docked in the cuts, chilling, and he goes to McDonald's and he pulls his mask down to give an order or something, or like I think he was flirting with the chick, honestly.
Yeah. He wasn't. He didn't.
Yeah, that was stupid. But he was already days away. It was already been a few days. They think he's out of Dodge. He did the smart thing and he wasn't too far. He was right under their nose.
It wasn't smart to go into a McDonald's. Hold up,
they don't know who to look for. He fucking decides to put himself on the camera. Like a fucking idiot. It
wasn't smart to go into a McDonald's and pull your mask down and flirt with a chick over the counter when you're on the run for a murder of a CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, probably $1 billion company. Like, come on, man. Like that wasn't that's flunky shit, man. Just like this. It's flunky shit. It's both of them situations. But what I'm saying is with Dirk is that them young boys don't know how to really plan some shit out and, you know what I mean, and execute some shit. Because in Chicago, police ain't, you know, they not super investigating shit. It's like if information come in their lap, then they're gonna move on it. If something's obvious, then they're gonna move on it. But these dudes don't have to. I seen dudes riding around looking for like op shop. That's what they call them when they looking for their enemies. Riding around for a minute with no police in sight. They riding around dirty every single kind of way. Weed, pills, everything, guns, all kind of shit in the car.
Yeah.
Till this day, and look, till this day, check this out. Till this day, they ride around like that. So they ain't no real prepping. It's just wild, wild west. But when you
look at the way it went down.
Hold on, let me land this point real quick.
Go ahead.
When you're dealing with something like this, you have to go over every single step. And I don't think them dudes ever been in a situation like this where they had to actually plan out a murder and make sure they executed properly. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they're in
they had more than one or two people involved is already crazy. Like it was already downhill.
It didn't take 4 people to pull that off.
I mean, it didn't take 4 people to pull that off. They got someone, but it wasn't their guy.
One person could have pulled up there and got their target. It didn't take 4 people to do that. So the fact that it's 4 people on the case, that's already too many people. They try to do it the same way they do it in Chicago with the 2 cars. You got a dummy car and you got the car with the shooters. Bro, that shit is not, you're not even in, this is California is not your landscape, bro.
That's a fact.
And you got too many people trying to do one job. You know what I'm saying?
They wanted the theatrics. They wanted to send they wanted to make it look.
Send a message. You're public. What other message you need to send? You're a public figure.
And they got him in broad day. And then, then they did, the thing, with the footage of him screaming no, and rest in peace to Brad, but the footage of his cousin screaming no, and then they made songs about it and shit. It's like, here's the thing, even just that's one of the laws, the 48 laws of power, is like, when you win, you don't rub it in their face when you win. You rub it in their face.
I just think
it's not over.
I just think that you should have never did it in the first place.
Yeah, like you said, he put the same effort. He tried really hard to get caught, like in that aspect. It's like, because just the fact that if he was allegedly, if he's involved in any of this shit, bro, you tried to fuck your shit up. Like, there,
I heard academics saying that G Herbo is Lil Durk's replacement, right? And all the people that wanted to do features with Dirk, they doing features with G Herbo. But I'm
because
like, what?
Herbo's on like, Conway.
But what do you expect? You think somebody gonna hold your spot because you locked up? People still got to get their features. People still got to put out their music. If you're not there, then your replacement is there. They're gonna mess with your replacement. That's the name of the. That's the game.
A statement like that irritates me because it's like this is a square bear who is like never gonna be involved in anything like that outside of talking about it, and then they'll be like, they got this. They speak in certainty. Oh well, people are just using him as the replacement now. And they're like, shut up, nerd.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, whenever there's an absence, it becomes a vacuum of power. It's like street shit. The industry. Here's the thing. What was the industry? The music industry built on? Off of gangsters. You know what I mean? If there's a spot open, it's a vacuum for power, and someone's gonna assume that spot. And there's microcosms of that. And here's the thing. No disrespect to G Herbo off top, because he's dope, and he been one of them guys. So it's like even just to say like, oh, he's replacing Dirk. He's been G Herbo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, I ain't gonna dance around on this topic too long. You know what I'm saying? I hope homie is able to put this situation behind him. You know what I mean? And move forward. If not, you're gonna have to handle it like a G. Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? On to the next topic. Drake. Drake got a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, oh man. He ain't even the only one that's accused of doing stuff like this though. So I gotta go over this joint, see what they talking about. All right, so Drake and Aiden Ross. Let's see what this is.
Aiden Ross is a real weirdo, bro.
Yeah. I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna get on him in a second.
I watched like a because I don't watch his shit at all.
But check this out. Let me go over this. Let me go over this article. This is one of the latest series. First of all, Drake hit with a RICO. Everything you need to know about the latest lawsuit against Stake, Drake, and Aiden Ross. So it's all three of them. It's the company and two, Drake and Aiden Ross. So this is one of the latest. This is just one of the latest in a series of lawsuits against the online gambling platform that Drake and Aiden Ross have promoted heavily in recent years. Things were shaky for Stake across 2025, and the negative reputation they developed, along with multiple class action lawsuits, also targeted high-profile figures like Drake and Aiden Ross. As the year closed, a new U.S. civil lawsuit filed in Virginia pulled the rapper, the live streamer, and Stake into an explosive legal dispute at the intersection of entertainment, gambling, and online financial loopholes. Per reports, the suit alleges illegal gambling, deceptive marketing, and most strikingly, civil RICO violations, a law typically reserved for organized crime cases. Notably, this development comes after Drake himself pursued RICO-related claims against UMG in the previous year. Remember I told you they was going to retaliate?
Yeah.
But anyway, while social media headlines quickly framed the case as Drake being hit with a RICO, but the reality is far more nuanced. This is a civil lawsuit, not a criminal case. However, the claims are serious, alleging violations of the Racketeer Influence in Corrupt Organizations Act, which is the RICO Act, alongside consumer protection statutes. Understanding the specific allegations are crucial to separating online speculation from the substantive legal claims. What is the lawsuit actually claiming? At its core, the lawsuit asserts that Stake, the U.S. arm of the global e-casino Stake.com, operates as an illegal online casino while presenting itself as a social casino to bypass American gambling laws. According to the plaintiffs, This misrepresentation allowed state to operate nationwide, including in states where online gambling is prohibited. The complaint alleges that users were misled into wagering real money under the impression that they were participating in risk-free entertainment. In practice, the plaintiffs claim that state encouraged users to gamble with stakes that could be converted to real-world value, effectively mimicking the mechanics of a legitimate casino while remaining outside traditional regulatory oversight. How state U.S. is allegedly operating illegally. Central to the lawsuit is the structure of states' in-platform currency system. While the platform advertises that no real money gambling occurs, the plaintiffs argue that this is misleading because every purchase of virtual gold coins is bundled with state cash, a token that can be redeemed one-to-one for cryptocurrency or digital gift cards. I wish I would be gambling for gift cards and cryptocurrency. Get the hell out of here. I'd rather gamble for real if I'm going to gamble. But anyway, the lawsuit claims that users then wager state cash games of chance, including slots, roulette, live dealer tables, all of which mirror traditional casino mechanics. By bundling state cash with gold coins, the plaintiffs argue state U.S. was able to disguise the real money gambling aspect of its platform while continuing to profit from users' losses. Drake's relationship with state, according to the complaint. Drake is not accused of founding state or operating his platform. Instead, the lawsuit portrays him as a highly compensated promoter whose public persona helped legitimize the platform for millions of fans. Court documents indicate that Drake has earned an estimated $100 million annually from state promotions. The complaint alleges that Drake's role went beyond simple promotion. Through Stake's internal systems, he allegedly received gambling funds and facilitated large transfers that plaintiffs claim were ultimately used to underwrite artificial streaming campaigns. This, the plaintiffs argue, gave Drake both financial and strategic incentives to use the platform as a vehicle for manipulating his music metrics while publicly endorsing Stake as a legitimate gaming platform. Adin Ross in the role of streaming culture. This is his role. This piece of shit. Anyway, Adin Ross is accused of acting in coordination with Drake. Plaintiffs allege that Ross hosted high-profile state gambling streams which double as promotional content and lent credibility to the platform. During these streams, Ross and Drake reportedly exchanged large sums using Stake's internal tipping system, including six-figure transfers that were publicly visible yet opaque in the terms of their true purpose. The lawsuit frames Ross as an amplifier who would help normalize state gambling amongst younger audiences while participating in the financial mechanisms alleged to fund Drake's artificial streaming campaigns. According to the complaint, these public displays serve multiple purposes: entertaining viewers, promoting Stake, and simultaneously masking the flow of funds used to manipulate Drake's streaming metrics. So basically, some of the same stuff that Drake is accusing UMG for, he's getting accused of. Okay, so then you got the tipping system. Then you got the artificial streaming and botting. Now, the most consequential allegation in the lawsuit is that Drake and Ross allegedly used the proceeds and transfers within state U.S. to finance artificial streaming campaigns. According to the plaintiffs, funds routed through the tipping system were converted into payments for automated bots, streaming farms, and paid amplification networks. These campaigns reportedly inflated play counts, distorted playlist placements, and fabricated popularity metrics, giving Drake an allegedly unfair advantage in streaming charts. The complaint suggests that the operations were intentionally concealed from public view. By moving the funds through Stake's internal systems, then to intermediaries like NewGen Plaintiffs argue the scheme avoided traditional financial tracking while sustaining the appearance of organic streaming success.
Is this
Why?
Oh, go ahead.
Huh?
I
No,
was
we're
gonna say, is
gonna
this a
pause for a minute. We're
stretch to
gonna
like
get to it.
charge RICO? Like,
Okay, so let's get to that.
yeah.
Shout out to Zip with the drip.
Yeah,
But RICO is included in the lawsuit because the plaintiffs assert a continuous coordinated enterprise involving illegal gambling, deceptive marketing, and the covert manipulation of financial and digital ecosystems.
oh, they're getting them because it's like it's gambling because they sell. It's like subscription based, right? So, and instead of subscription based, it's like, okay, you buy a subscription to join this shit, then you buy currency, you buy coins or tokens or whatever within the app or website. Then you use those to go play the games. So it's gambling technically, but this is their loophole. So they're cracking down on that because, but I've been sponsored by fantasy apps that used to be like that, where it's like, because you know it's not legal in every state, but like if it was subscription based, and it's like now you're entered in tournaments to win, you know, gift cards and thing, you know, but they usually be like Visa gift cards, so it's still cash, so to speak.
It's still cash, but they converted it to cryptocurrency. You know, trying not to.
In this instance, yeah.
Yeah, like
wow.
Like basically, stake is masquerading as something other than what it is, which is it's a gambling app.
Yeah, it's an online casino.
But they're trying to frame it as like something else, so they can basically operate in all 50 states, because you know gambling is not legal in every state.
That's,
you know
that's the loophole right there. See,
that's
and
the
then
loophole.
now,
and then they use artists like Drake to promote it, and then whatever they get paid, they take that money off a stake and they fund it. They use it to fund, you know, the bots and you know mess with the metrics and shit like that to make it seem like this stream is doing, you know, or going all crazy.
So now really here's Drake, who tried to sue UMG. Then that gets thrown out of eventually, right? But then now, and it's probably because, you know, during this time he's making a fuss because all this Kendrick shit happened simultaneously when he's coming up for a new deal. So then he then has his streams being inflated to show UMG like, no, I am that guy. And now how ironic.
I told you, I told you, I said, yo, you go against these big time record companies, they're going to retaliate.
Yeah, and
they're going to retaliate.
And Universal's a conglomerate these days. They're not just I guess they've always been a conglomerate. Movies, you know, music, you know, all forms of entertainment. You know what I mean? They got their hands
been around for a very long time. This ain't their first rodeo, man. You know, but about Aiden Ross, there was a thing where he was talking shit about Doja.
Girl, yeah,
not Doja Cat. What's her name?
Doche.
Yeah, Doshi.
Yeah, hold on, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get my girl a light. She wants to light this candle real quick.
Yeah, bring that up real quick. Let me see something. Yeah, so Glasses and Aiden Ross going at it. I ain't mad at Glasses though. I ain't mad at him at all.
Yeah. Okay, we're back.
Yeah. So he was basically like he was calling Doshi an industry plant, right? And you could have your opinion, but I think it went left when he got the disrespecting Shorty. You know what I'm saying? I think that's when it went. That's when it went left.
The optics of and you know, you could even remove the race. Optics of a man going in on a female is never gonna look good. Now add the races in there, right? It's like you got this white Jewish kid and he's going in on a black woman, bro. Like that's never gonna look good ever, especially coming from, he's not. It's not like he's some trailer park white dude. You know what I mean? This guy's like, he got money.
He always been he
got a
said
big
some
voice.
He said some slick shit before though, and
he be saying some slick ass racist shit, bro.
Yeah, he do.
That's
why when Glasses got on his ass, now all of a sudden he want to run the Whack 100. Whack 100 can't save you from Glasses. You know what I'm saying?
Glasses.
Only thing I say is that I don't think that Glasses should have went on the internet and expressed how he felt. He should have kept it quiet. And when he ran into him, voila. You know what I'm saying? Like, because these dudes is they suckers, man. Like, I'm just keep it a buck. They suckers. You know what I mean? Like, you getting on here, you saying all this slick shit about a female, but you know that you the type of person somebody gonna slap your eyebrows off and you ain't gonna do nothing anyway.
Yeah, and then except for Sue.
But yeah, I'm gonna call the police, I'm gonna call the authorities. You a sucker.
That's like
you know what I mean?
It's entrapment, if you ask me. Motherfuckers talk a bunch of shit. You're bound to get slapped. That's entrapment. You know what I mean?
Yep. And academics sitting over there like acting like he defending him, like he trying to act like he playing the middle, but then he trying to say, well, Glasses, like, yo, we don't want to hear all that nerd shit, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to hear that. You stand over there. If you standing with him, stand with your boy. Don't try to tell Glasses nothing. He ain't listening to you. You know what I'm saying? So
what's crazy is like okay. I always want to go to the root of how these fools came up. Like, you talk about Act, he came up off the Chicago bullshit. You know what I mean? Like that, all the Chirac shit that was happening, he was able to monetize off this shit, off of street shit, right? Having nothing to do with it. Then what was Aiden Ross? Where the fuck did he come up off of?
I don't know. I don't watch him. I have no clue. The only thing I would say is the streaming thing. What I see him doing is streaming. But
yeah, because he got like a big Kick deal or something like that, and then like now, I guess he was making noise, and then when Kick came around, they started giving him like $50 million a year or some crazy shit like that, and like now all of a sudden, bruh is like, what was crazy when they give fools money like that, especially this guy in particular, he started like. Like he started up in that whole come on my show, I'll give you 50 bands. You know what I mean? Like, and then he brings fools on the show and says wild, slick shit around them. You know what I mean? Or like he paid, I think he offered $1 million to Cardi, and I think he gave him like half. But then like Cardi like bullshitted him for hella hours, and he finally showed up, got the money, and then said thank you, and then left. Then he spends the rest of the stream bad mouthing Cardi. It's like, you're a sucker. What do you expect?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? What do you expect? You a sucker. Like, you clearly are willing to pay X amount of money because you know this person's going to track some streams. And it's like, because what does he have? Like, is Aiden Ross a guy who's a draw by himself? I don't know anything about this kid.
Man, I don't, and I really don't care.
And all the clips I see with him, he's with other people. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, he's not a Kai Cenat, where I know Kai Cenat, he's like that for the Gen Z, that's their guy right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Kai Cenat is cool though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He doesn't bother me. It just seems like he just seems like a kid who's making his way. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Without having to compromise himself or others or make a name, off the back of clout. You know what I mean? Like,
most definitely.
Because that's a real currency to some of these individuals, that clout. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And to me, that's just the price they're willing to put on their soul, bro. You know what I mean? To get on.
Yeah, unfortunately. Just hope it don't get you beat up.
For real. Hey, you want to go viral so bad.
Yeah,
you want to go viral so bad. Go get slapped up by one of these motherfuckers that you're trying to avoid.
Some people don't care about catching that little charge, man. You know what I mean? You gotta watch your mouth, man. Don't get on here just saying stuff that you won't say in real life in these people's faces, man. Real talk. And if you're a racist, come out the closet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Closet, man. Because you're really a coward if you're a closeted one. Be honest. Say how you feel. Don't keep hiding behind these slick words and all this slick disrespect. Just come out and say how you feel.
And then, like, what's crazy is too is like, say wild racist like shit around these motherfuckers, but like you're trying to be around these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what I mean?
I don't know what the infatuation, like, maybe it's because they don't want to have the same plight, but they want to have the same cool factor. You know what I mean? Like they want to rob everything from from everyone else, but never have this. They want all the benefits from their cool factor and the swag, but they don't want to have any of the plight that comes that where you know what I mean. A lot of that shit that they're trying to the shit that they will clearly separate themselves from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, you want to hang around everybody and say some racist shit, but the moment anything hits the fan, you're gonna be on this other side. You know what I mean? Like,
sucker. I move on from that clown, man.
Yeah.
All right. So Homie in the Hellcat just got released from prison. You know what I'm saying? He just came out the feds. This is his first day out. Joint right here. You know what I mean? That's there's some coming out, throwing them joints right back on, reloading.
Right. Come on.
You know what I mean?
I'm back.
Yeah. I had to scrub out the Tay Grizzly joint though. I ain't want no problems with you two. You dig? I hope you get back to it, man, and establish yourself out here, man. I know you're gonna jump up on that too. And hey, what's so crazy is that people want to see him get back in position. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the content, coming home and getting back in the position. You know what I'm saying? So, shout outs to him, man.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Stay free.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Stay free. All right. Now, last topic right here is your boy 6ix9ine.
That's not my boy.
Yo.
Yes, the guy 6ix9ine.
Boy 6ix9ine. He back in the news again, man. Godly.
Real good like that.
So rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine turns himself into Brooklyn jail for a 3-month sentence. Ain't about nothing.
Well, we have learned that rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine is back behind bars, reporting to the Metropolitan Detention Center.
She got a real LA on there.
The rapper, whose real name is will serve a 3-month sentence for violating terms of his supervised release. His attorney says he expects to be segregated from the general population, likely in the same section of the federal detention center as high-profile inmates like Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and alleged CEO killer Luigi Mangione. The center has also housed other high-profile prisoners like Jeffrey Epstein and Sean Combs.
Yep. So he's in Brooklyn Federal Jail.
The detention center.
Yeah.
Wow. So because he's violating on the federal level.
He violated his parole. He will serve 90 days behind bars. Okay, so Hernandez was sentenced to 3 months for violating the terms of his supervised release. He was indicted in 2018 in a federal racketeering case that targeted members of a criminal group with whom he worked. After pleading guilty to conspiracy and other charges, he testified against members of the group for leniency. His attorney says Hernandez expects to be segregated from the general population, likely in the same section of the federal detention center as high-profile inmates like Maduro and Luigi Mangione. The rapper is looking forward to serving his sentence, getting this part of his life behind him, and resuming his music career. New York City Metropolitan Detention has a reputation for past high-profile inmates like Sean Combs, Ghislaine Maxwell. That was the one that was working with Epstein.
Yeah.
And R. Kelly, to name a few. From complaints over food to cleanliness and safety, the center has been called hell on earth. That's jail. Jail's supposed to be jail. Jail, that's jail. It's gonna be like that. But you know, he's starting to remind me of what's that dude name, man? Sammy the Bull.
Yeah,
you know, he did all that telling on Gotti. Gotti, you know, unfortunately died in prison, you know, behind this dude. But then he's in and out of prison. He come back home. He wanna sell drugs. He wanna do all this other gangster shit and then get back and forth to jail. Like, I don't understand these dudes, man. Like, you just ratted on your mans, and then you know, now you still want to be involved in the bullshit. Like, I never understood that shit, man.
Yeah,
but you know what? The feds create people like that. They create those type of monsters. Motherfucker out here ratting, but then he got here catching bodies, and the feds just let that just be. Like, hey, it is what it is. He's giving us information. Like, that just don't make no sense to me. It's one thing you tell and they put you back out there to work for them, but it's another thing if they allow you to commit crimes while you're doing it. Like, that's just crazy, especially murder. That's just crazy. Like, it's bugged out, man.
I mean,
but that's what you got to do when you're in the streets, though, because all that shit is a part of the streets. You know what I'm saying? All of that. It's all one package. You know what I mean? So stay out the streets, kids. They deal with all that BS. You know?
Yeah, for real. It's easy. It's a whole lot easier to be a citizen.
See, 6ix9ine is at the point of his career right now where his music ain't selling. So he trying anything to go viral. Like, you see him on these interviews, acting all extra, you know, all this ridiculous bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's trying to do anything to stay in the algorithm because ain't nobody buying that whack ass music. You trash.
I never thought
the whole shit is the whole thing around him, the whole controversy around him is gone. Like, no one cares. So
a lot of those fools are starting to get out too, like here and there, and all those fools don't want any part with that kid anyway. And of course, they're gonna make it seem like that if they ever do want something to happen to him.
Certain people gonna stand next to him just to run their numbers up, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's you know, if you're in the entertainment world, it is what it is. Like, you know.
Okay, no, I like that you just said that. I want to get your take on this. So you just said that, right? You said there's gonna be some people that stand next to it because it's the entertainment world. Why is anyone having any kind of why do you think people have issue with any of these so-called rats now then? You know what I mean? Like, if it's just entertainment, what, you know, like Gunna when all that shit happened and then they start labeling him a rat. You know what I mean? His music he did some of the best numbers ever because people just didn't really care. But like, it was really the other artists that wouldn't work with him. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to stick to some code.
But they not even on that street.
I'm
saying, yo, you in the entertainment business. If you're a rapper, you do songs with other rappers. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. You an entertainer, you collaborate with other entertainers. You know what I mean? Like, y'all trying to uphold the street code. Y'all not even in the street no more.
Yeah, you guys are entertaining.
Like, stop the BS, yo. I asked somebody this one day. I said, yo, if you found out your boss was a rat at your job, but you get paid well, you take care of your family with this salary, you gonna leave your job?
No.
Then what's the difference between that and the entertainment?
Maybe don't do anything criminalistic around him. You know,
I mean, you at the
job. Anyway.
You working.
It's a job.
You shouldn't be doing nothing criminal around him anyway.
Just like these entertainers, it's their job. They're in the entertainment business.
It's their job to entertain. So it really shouldn't matter if somebody told on the case and all that. That shouldn't matter. Now, I'm gonna tell you this though. If you told and you out here talking that gangster shit, I don't want to do no song with you. Because now you're lying.
Yeah.
You not that person that you rapping about.
Yeah. You better.
But if you told and you doing songs for the women and R&B and all that, I mean, why? And you hot, why not? Don't do the song. What you worry about what the public think? Half of y'all ain't no real gangsters anyway.
I mean, and it goes back to like the entertainment shit is like people, the consumers of today's like rap music, like the hardcore shit, motherfucker, the gangster music, whatever, drill, whatever you want to call it. They want authenticity, right? And it's like,
do they? Hold up, do like, they? You said.
I mean, those are what the numbers.
Hold up. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Who did you say that wants authenticity?
The consumers.
You sure about that?
Well, here's why I say this is because
these rappers been lying and they rap for years.
No, for sure. But like, all right.
I think it's what sounds.
Remember when Fifth came out, right? When he came out in the major way, it was after he got shot. The public, they ate that up. They love that. Oh, he's really about this shit.
It's the rags to riches story. Like,
yes.
It's a rag there. The public's always.
So there you go.
Always going like a good rags to riches story.
Yeah,
because that represents every single person in America.
That's the American story, essentially.
Yeah, you starting from nothing.
That's the makings of the American dream.
Exactly. So we always love a good rags to riches story. That's always going to be a factor.
But you know, there's definitely an intrigue. Like, okay, look at when King Von blew up. First, when he really blew up, it was when white America starts getting on him. You know what I mean? They're like, oh yeah, we like this guy. You know what I mean? Like
they think they do. They think
they do because they like, oh, he's real. You know what I mean?
But you won't hang around. You won't hang around Vaughn for 2 seconds.
You know what I mean? And even people around him. Even people around used to say, listen, if you was around Vaughn, you had to be prepared for some crazy shit, some gunfights and some fucking, you know what I mean? Shootouts. He wasn't playing around with what he said, but they ate that shit
up. Vaughn was a real hitter.
And the consumers ate that shit up.
They did. They loved it.
And here's another thing too, is like, when you look, what does the record labels do now? Like, what are their means to pushing anything that's getting views already initially, right? It's not like they're like, that's why I think industry plant is a bullshit statement nowadays, because it's like, all right, are they really going to put hella millions of dollars? Like, are they going to put $50 million into an artist to make it seem like he just bubbled up on his own? And like, how are you going to recoup that $50 million in today's entertainment business? You know what I mean? Like, there's not money in music like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at, you got motherfuckers inflating the streams. Like going back to our other story, Drake inflating the streams so he can demand a better record deal. You know what I'm saying? Or another contract. And what's this contract going to look like? $500 million? Why? How are you going to? This is why Drake tours nonstop.
That's where the money's at in rap and touring.
Exactly. And he still has to recoup a lot of the shit that, you know what I mean, that he's obligated to make this the universal. He's going to have to. I mean, if they're going to give him $500 million, that means that he's making them $1 billion plus. I don't even think it's just a double up. Why would a conglomerate like that give somebody that much money if they didn't think they could recoup like quintuple? You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy because I do like what everything's going on with the music business now, because I feel like we're going to get to a niche era again where, independence and actual talent and people liking music for it being good, not because it's being shoveled to us. You know what I mean? I feel like we're going to get to that era again, especially because we have so much microwave music out there.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little time, but we're gonna get there.
Yeah, for sure. History repeats itself. I feel like we're gonna get out of the copycat era, which has been about 20 years now, where the sound alike era, and what we're gonna get back into some individuality here. It might take another 10 years, but I mean,
music is getting back to the point right now where you got to do it because you love it.
Yeah, and who loves it? The people that have actual talent. I think it's going to be like sports, and I've been saying this. It's going to be like sports. Nowadays, okay, with rap, how long has it been with rap? You could just like make an artist. The guy write his shit. You know what I mean? Give him the look. Maybe he already has the background. Boom, you can create it. Basketball players and football players, you could teach them every day. If they don't already have it, like they're not going to get a deal. They're not going to get signed by a team. They're not going to get drafted. Like, you know, this is, you're going to have actual talent now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's the thing. And then, you know, it's gonna purge itself of all the people that's just in here BSing, chasing a bag, ain't got no real talent. It's gonna purge itself of that, you know, over time. And the people that really live for this shit, those are the people that's gonna be left.
Would you argue in the last since the 90s?
Because, look, hold up. I just want to add one point in.
Right.
Because how long do you keep pushing bad music? Because what's going to happen if the music stays bad, and not all this music in this era is bad. They have people that's bubbling.
They're just not pushing what we consider good music.
Yeah, and I also think that there's not a central place for the music that's good right now. It's like you got to sift through a lot of BS before you get to something that you actually want to listen to. But my thing is like this: if the quality of music, if people keep putting out garbage, they're just going to replace that with AI.
Yeah, and that goes back to my
what's stopping them?
But that's what I said. Like now, it's going to become you actually have to have some talent if you want to stand out against the microwavable shit that they're going to be pumping us with or pumping to us. You know what I mean? Like that's going to become niche. Like an action. Like okay. You know, you got factories that pump out cars, but like you might get a Bentley.
I also think this. I think that the label rather have 20 dumb, non-talented rappers that they can rob over
a Kendrick.
Yeah, because they're gonna be about their business, and they don't want that.
They're gonna know their worth. They're gonna know their value.
Exactly. And they don't want that. You have to be okay with. Like, you see how Top Dog from TDE, like, you have to be okay with one of your biggest artists coming to you one day and saying, yo, I want to try this on my own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to be cool with that. These labels ain't cool with that. They ain't making money off you. You like an enemy to them. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, I never looked at it like that. Yeah, and that's a great example with the Kendrick leaving Top, because like they still rock. He's just like, and you know what too? That's good for SZA too, because SZA's another one of the artists that's at the forefront. It's like, and look, man, put all the energy into her now. I'm gonna go do my thing. I'm good. They didn't help Kendrick build the foundation, and then he took it to heights that they probably didn't imagine, and now they're like, you know, you gotta let him fly.
Yeah, and he got Q, he got Doshi. You know what I'm saying? He got SZA. So, I mean, he got a lineup. He got a strong lineup.
What's Brez's name?
Rock, J-Rock. His ass off. Oh, J-Rock. Let me not forget, you know what I'm saying, J-Rock, because I really mess with J-Rock music. You know what I'm saying? He been putting out
good J-Rock got some choice. Absol got some choice too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, and it's crazy because if you dig deep with J-Rock's music, you'll find some gems up in there, boy.
He was the guy initially he was the guy that they were putting all the energy behind, but then Kendrick just caught fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I mean. So you know that's pretty much
what
it is.
And respects to him too, because he always tells the story like, "Listen, I was the guy." They were like, "Yo, you next up." They're pushing him, but Kendrick was just catching fire, and it was like, you know, he checked the ego out the door. It's like, listen, man, put all the energy behind Dot. Dot's he's got it right now. You know what I mean? Like, because he knew, like, listen, if Dot could be the one to take the ball and run with it, and take it over to the next level, and bust the door down for everybody else, that it's got to be him. Then, like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of time, that's why I respect the fuck out of TDE. Now that I think about it, it's like, wow, that's it. You know, a lot of people be like, "Oh, this label's the family." That, you know, I mean, That's probably the closest I've seen a label operate, especially because they keep everything in
house. You gotta be careful with that word. Make sure it's family when it comes to that black and white too.
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, when it comes to the paperwork. Oh yeah,
that's one of the key words they use. That is my bro, my family. You know,
and that's why I said a lot of them will throw that word around.
And that paperwork don't show that. So
yeah, come on,
you a stranger when it comes to that paperwork.
My money.
So, yeah, but it's been another great episode. You know what I'm saying? Good looking for you pulling up. Tell people where they can find you at, man.
And you already know Bogart scot-free anywhere you consume your music, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, things of that nature. Check me out, Bogart scot-free. You can also check out our YouTube channel, Gen Wealth Net, GEN Wealth Net. Let's go.
Yes, sir. You catch me here from a fan's perspective. I'm gonna be dropping daily content, so just tune in. I'm here, baby. All right. Peace.
Peace.